Now, today's show, we're going to be talking about how GDPR affects sales. Joining me in the studio is Linda Bazant. She's a barrister and GDPR auditor, trainer and speaker.
Well, as far as sales teams are concerned, an awful lot of sales teams are thinking that they actually cannot sell anymore. And of course, that's not true. What GDPR is doing is allowing them to sell to better qualified lists and enabling them to actually go in and close the sale probably a lot quicker than they could before. You have to have a privacy notice to tell people exactly how you collect their data and what you do with it and who you share it with. They need to update the privacy notice on their website because individuals now have new rights that they didn't have before. They are entitled to know who the company is, what they do, why they're collecting the data, what they are doing with your data, and also the fact that if you're not happy with what's being done with your data, here's the people that you can contact to complain about that, to unsubscribe if you need to, or if you want a copy of the data that's being collected, you want to know what that business has collected about you, you can do a subject access request which entitles you to see everything that the company's collected about you. That's free and you have to respond to the subject within 30 days. What sales teams need to realise is that one of the things that they can continue to do, even under GDPR, is they can cold call. But what you do have to do now is that when you actually get through to somebody, you have to tell them again who you are, why you're calling, what you're going to be doing with any data that you collect from them. The data that you collect has got to be relevant, it's got to be necessary. So if you're just scribbling notes for your own purposes and it's not necessary for the continuing process of the sale, then yes, they should be deleting it. If you are taking the information off of a corporate website to give them a call about the product that you are selling because you firmly believe that it's a legitimate business reason for you to call them about your product because it is something that that business could benefit from, that's fine if you are calling. But if you're scraping that website for the email address to put into a CRM system, that is a big no-no. The email is there for people to contact them, to ask for information from them, not to give them marketing information. That's the purpose of the email on someone's web address. But the additional thing about the telephone number on a web address is that you also have to, if you are scraping telephone numbers to call, you must check with the telephone preference service and the corporate telephone preference service to make sure that these people have not already said, we do not want to receive marketing calls on this telephone number. You take the business card, you can either phone or email the person afterwards, a personal email to them to say, it was good to meet you today, here's what we discussed, here's the information that I promised you had sent to you. I would like to include you in our CRM system. Could you please confirm that I have your consent to do so? If they come back with the consent, it can go in the CRM. You must have their consent before you upload things into your CRM system. A business email, if it's got your name on it, still means that you are an individual. And yes, you can contact that person at that business, that's fine, but that person, as a person, regardless of the fact that they have the affixed business name at the end, also has the right to come back to you and say, stop contacting me, please unsubscribe my email address from your CRM system. I'm Linda Bazant, I'm a barrister and GDPR auditor, trainer and speaker, and today we've been talking about how GDPR affects your sales teams. In summary, by looking at the most common sales activities, it's possible to understand the do's and the don'ts to get your sales team GDPR ready. On cold calling, you can make phone calls, but always follow up with an email telling people the purpose of the call, what you agreed during the call, and while you're following up via an email, but making sure in your email that you've got that unsubscribe button in there, and of course the link to your privacy policy. With regard to referrals and so on, you can take on referrals, business cards and so on, but once again, contact the person. It was great to meet you. Here's what we do. Here's what I'd like to talk to you about. I'd like your permission to continue to keep sending information to you. And if you need to unsubscribe at the bottom of the email and the privacy notice once again. Social media selling, it's a huge tool. Lots and lots of businesses are using it now. You can just create that warm lead on social media that allows you to then take it off of social media and take it onto phone calls and take it into emails, but with the consent of the person that you're talking to. And as far as businesses are concerned, CEOs, managing directors, make sure that your staff understand GDPR and that they need to be trained to understand GDPR, and it will become a culture because it affects your brand and it affects your reputation and affects the trust that customers will have in dealing with your business.